All right, it is Tuesday, May the 19th in the year 2020. It is our last Tuesday of the year. You only have 2 school days left, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last official day of school. I hope that you guys are getting in on the Zoom sessions with your teachers, seeing your classmates one more time while you still can. But definitely getting ready and geared up to enjoy the outside. Looks beautiful today, high of 60, partly cloudy. I can see, lots of sunshine, but there are definitely clouds around, but not enough to not get outside. I mean, we definitely need to be enjoying this weather. So we're going to talk about one language today that I think we actually probably have already talked about, but I'm going to talk about it in a different context than I talked about it before. We're going to talk about Portuguese, really tied to Spanish and Italian as far as the structure of their language and how it sounds. Portuguese, when we first talked about it weeks ago, we talked about it being the language of Brazil, which it is. It is all, but it originates in the country of Portugal. So you can see how the name of the language gets its roots from the name of the country. But many other countries, about 10 or 11 other countries, speak Portuguese, okay? So if you look over here, you can see how they say hello. They say hola. So really similar to Spanish, which has an H in the front, but pronounced the exact same way. So to say hello in Portuguese, you say hola, okay? And so if you look at this flag, couple of vertical bands in this one. The green represents the hope for the future. The red represents the blood of the nation. They did have a lot of fighting again way back in 14 and 1500s, probably even into the 1600s really, for who controlled that land and who was the king and queen of that country. You can see in the middle there's a coat of arms. It's got 5 small blue shields. I don't know if you can see them, but those blue shields represent the 5 Moorish kings who were defeated by the first king of what became known as the independent country of Portugal. So that kind of ties in as well to their hope for the future, but the blood of the nation to win their independence and become the country that we know today as Portugal. Okay, and then you can see down here at the bottom, Portuguese is an official language in 10 countries. So you've got Brazil, which we talked about, Mozambique, Angola, Portugal, which we're talking about today, Guinea-Bissau, East Timor, Equatorial Guinea, Macau, Cape Verde, and Sao Tome and Principe. And the reason I'm talking again about Portuguese today is because it's going to finish taking us around the world with our languages. So, let me move myself up here. These in the red are the countries where Portuguese is spoken. So you can see Portugal is right up here at the tip of Europe. And then you've got some small islands here in the Atlantic. And then you have several of these countries in South America. Couple of island nations here, Angola is here, Mozambique is here, all the way over here. When you're talking about this area between Asia and Australia, you can see East Timor and Macau. All right, so these are the roots back in the 1400s and 1500s that the Portuguese explorers took. So you can see why that language kind of stuck in those areas. And again, the reason that I'm talking about Portuguese one more time is it's going to kind of wrap up our tour around the world as far as our languages go. Remember, we started with American Sign Language, talked about Spanish with Mexico and Spain. We talked about French with France and Canada. Then we went around all these different European countries, talked about Scandinavia up here. Then we went in and we talked about the Baltic states. We talked about Russia. Then we came down here and talked about the Asian nations. We did talk about Australia and how they have not only their own kind of use of the English language, but they also have the native language there with the Kiwis. And then we talked about the Middle East, and how Arabic is all even up here on the top of Africa. We talked a lot last week about various African nations. Even yesterday we talked about Egypt, which is here. And so now we're kind of making our last way around, and we're talking about South America. This huge chunk of South America speaks Portuguese, and then really this last other slice of the continent, they speak Spanish. So we've kind of gone around the world with our languages. So I just wanted to wrap it up that way with our languages. And then let's talk about our observation for today. And really it's all week, and really it's all summer. This week is officially Safe Swimming Week. This week is officially Safe Boating Week because summer is upon us now. This coming weekend is Memorial Day weekend. People are about to be out and about and doing things, and they want to remind people to be safe. And I want to remind you to be safe, okay? When you're at a pool, I want you to pay attention to the rules and the procedures, like no running. I want you to hopefully know your basic swim skills, at least how to doggy paddle or get on your back if you're in a situation where you're needing to get somebody to help you out. Never go swimming by yourself, ever, ever, ever. Always have someone with you just in case of an emergency. Let an adult know if somebody in the water is in distress. If they look like they're having trouble and they need help, let somebody know, okay? Wear your personal flotation device when you are boating, okay? When you're on a boat, no matter what boat, no matter how safe you are, no matter who's driving, wear that flotation device because you never know, okay, what can happen. Follow the instructions of whoever is the captain of the boat, okay? And if you ride a jet ski, make sure you wear that engine cutoff device. It wraps around your wrist so that if you fall off, it pulls and it cuts the engine off so that you don't accidentally run into the engine, which would be horrible. And that brings us to our word for the day. We talked about a personal flotation device and an engine cutoff device. And so our word for the day is device. And a device is something that is made with a particular purpose. It was made with a particular purpose in mind, especially a piece of equipment. So I'm going to give you an example sentence. A cell phone is a device that was made so we can talk to each other easily from anywhere, right? Okay, so I want you to see if you can think of a good sentence and a good example of another device, piece of equipment, something that was made for a particular purpose. Okay, drop that into the comment box and try to get more dojo points. And then here is your last brain teaser of the whole year. It's our last Tribon. Remember, these 3 words have something in common, and I want you to tell me what they have in common. Here are your 3 words: skunk and garbage and poop. So I want you to see if you can figure out what they have in common and write that in the comment box. I think you can figure that out. So you're gonna comment in the box about your word of the day sentence. Comment and leave me your answer to the brain teaser. Get in those online programs because today is the last call for dojo points. Okay, tomorrow when I go through and I get ready for my last video of the year, I'm going to tally up and I'm going to see who is the high point winner in each of my groups, and whoever is the high point winner, we're going to get a prize at the beginning of next year when we can talk about what you want to get. Okay, so last call for dojo points. And last thing here about Portuguese, we're going to learn how to say goodbye. It sounds just like the Italian form of goodbye, but it's spelled very differently. You say ciao, okay? And in Italian, it's C-I-A-O. And if you look here in Portuguese, look at this combination of letters, T-C-H-A-U, but pronounced the exact same way you say ciao. So I'm going to say ciao to you guys on this last Tuesday of the year. So excited for you guys to be able to finish out this year and get to the summer. Remember to join in those Zooms with your classes because this is your last, social opportunity with your classmates and your teachers, okay? And get outside and enjoy some fresh air and some sunshine. And I will see you guys one more time tomorrow for our last day of school video. Y'all have a good day.